This thing theory seems resembles the two-headed clock. A god of duality, like harmony and chaos, possibly the other middle world which are separated from being united together. In quantum physics, there is wave-particle duality.
One of the funkiest things I ever had anything to do with. What's up, everybody? Electro Saturday today, as should be apparent by the choice of introductory music. What's up, everybody? What's up, Martin Crockett, reporting to duty. Yes, sir. Eatsy's here, and yes, you should be working on your remix. Surflow Sama, people of the noise, yes. I like noise. We all like noise. Let's make some noise. Oxygen levels critical. Hey, what's up, Josh Holiday? Happy Saturday. Joel, tell me. Happy Saturday again. I'm just gonna get down and dance in my chair a little bit while we listen to this track. Synapse, Get the Freaks and Get Some. Or The Freak, really. That's the EP title, Get the Freaks and Get Some. From back in the 90s on Serotonin. BPMF and myself. That bass line, that Odyssey bass line. I want to try to recreate that bass line one of these days. I need an Odyssey to do it. All right. Surflow Sama is complaining about the music level. Is that better? Surflow Sama, can you hear me better now? Do you approve? All right. Let's get into it. Welcome, everybody. It's another Selway's Techno and/or Electro Saturdays, and today happens to be an Electro Saturday. That's what I'm feeling today. And I guess I had the intro music a little bit too loud, or I had the microphone input a little bit too low. One of those things. You know, I did a sound check today, but I didn't check the intro music level, so maybe I should have done that. Anyway, you know what we do here on 343 TV, brought to you by 343 Labs Music Production School in New York City and in Berlin and online and the universe. I think we just exist in the universe like everybody else. Is it a simulation? Is this all just some kind of program, some kind of artificially intelligent creation that we all are a part of in our own small way? Anyway, that's not what we do at 343 Labs. At 343 Labs, we teach music production skills to whoever wants to know, right? Whether you're a beginner or an advanced musician and you're just trying to polish your skills, or you've never made a track before. Whether you like us here, like techno and electro, or you're writing pop songs, or you're a singer-songwriter, or any kind of music, right? Any kind of subgenre. We can help you with that, right? And so I'm here each week, as you know, doing my thing, but supported by 343 Labs, which is a big part of my life, and which I've taken on a bigger role in as the years have gone by. And we have our one-year program that is growing really well. We have our third cohort that just started, and it's a nice group of people. And I've got some new mentees that I'm working with closely to help them along on their musical production creative journey. And yeah, of course, we have our standalone courses. And if you want to know more about what we do here at 343 Labs, you know what to do. There's links in the description. Click on them. It'll take you away. Maybe do it later after the stream, though. Don't take your attention away from the stream. Look into my eyes. What are you guys talking about? What are you guys talking about there in the chat other than complaining about the audio levels? Yes, it wasn't a complaint, to be fair. Surflow, Sama, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to give you a hard time about that. Martin Crockett, yes, skills to pay the bills. I mean, I wish I could say that starting a career in music production or songwriting or techno or whatever it is you do musically would pay the bills. We all know the reality is that it's hard to make a living in the music business, right? It's so competitive, and it's such a universal thing. Almost everybody in the world loves music, right? Many people want to express themselves in musical ways, and turning that into a job, well, yes, it's a challenge, but at least all I can promise as a partner at 343 Labs is to help you get started. That's what we could do, is give you a really good springboard. And that's really what the 1-year program is for, actually, is to like an intensive year of helping you out with everything you'd need to get started as a independent artist, music producer, and so on and so forth. All right. What are we doing today? It's a check-in, right? I'm reminding everybody out there in the world that we have this remix challenge going on. We've got this Selway's Techno and Electro Saturdays Autofreak remix challenge. Autofreak is a track I made in the late 90s under the artist name Semblance Factor. Why didn't I just call it a John Selway track? I don't know. I used to use all these different names, and I don't really need to do that anymore, right? I think anything, I used to think I needed to change the name for every different style. Like I had to have a hard, dark techno alias and a whatever alias and a deep alias and a whatever, And there were times where I made records where I was like, I'm not sure this is me. I like it, but it's not me. I guess that's the reason to do it. If you want to put music out there in the world and see how it goes, but not directly identify it with who you are, give it a different name, right? Make up a new name. But anyway, nowadays everything's Selway for the most part, unless it's a project with other people. Wow, that was a ramble. Back to the remix challenge. So yeah, you can see right here, you can sign up. You just need to give 343 Labs your email, and in return, you get the acapella, which is just one verse, 4 lines, and those are the only isolated parts. And then I've included. There was a little stumble on getting the files ready, so some of you might have already downloaded it from the Discord and are missing the tracks. So sign up again and re-download it. It'll go to there's like a Dropbox link to a folder, and you can grab the tracks. There's an unmastered even, just direct transfer from the original DAT. Two original versions of this track, the more electro one and the more dark techno one. And you can use those as reference. You can use them to sample any isolated sounds from. I suppose you could use AI stem separation, but I can always tell when people do that. There's artifacts in the sound. But and if you want to, we don't need to go into all the details about like what you should or shouldn't do. A couple weeks ago, I did a stream where I introduced this idea and I played you back the parts and the originals and talked about what I'd like for you to do. Should be techno or a subgenre of techno. It should be electro or some variation of electro. And if you're a viewer who's been watching this show for a while, you know the different types of styles that I lean towards. So you might consider working in that area, right? But I mean, okay, if you do whatever you want, you do whatever you want. But just know I'm going to be looking for stuff that kind of complements the originals mostly, right? All right, so yeah, you can click here and you can sign up and give us your name and email. I just want to be able to keep track of everybody and be able to reach out to you outside of the Discord system. So how do you submit, right? How do you submit? Well, you need to be on our Discord. So I think most of you watching probably are already, but there's a link down in the description for our Discord server, and it should take you directly to this Selway feedback channel. This is where you submit your track, right? So there's already a bunch. Let's see. How many have we got? And we've still got about 2 weeks a little less than 2 weeks to go for the deadline. All right, I've gone too far. I'm scrolling. Where's my post? I don't know what's going on. Yeah, I already went back to our Tim Xavier feedback stream, which is like way a long time ago. Okay, here we go. So here's where I announced the remix challenge. We've got Xenopus, we've got MOSFET tapes, we've got who else? Eider Studio or Zab. We've got Buckaroo, we've got Electro Technic, we've got Hendrik Schmidt. We've got Functor. Yes, nice to have Functor. I mean, a lot of you guys are regulars here, and we got Luminous Clouds. We've got a really good number of submissions already, and I expect to hear quite a bunch more. Our feedback session may last a while. We'll have to be ready for that. Okay, let's see what we got here in the stream. What did I say? Surflow Sama, what did I say in the intro that would be good for vocals? I'm going to have to go back and listen later. And yes, Simple Sam, there is still time for the remix. The due date. Did they not put the due date on the... Oh, October 22nd, right there. October 22nd is the due date. That's the beginning of the week. And the following Saturday will be, the 26th, will be the feedback session. And we'll choose, hopefully, we'll be able to choose some winners. Okay, I'm going to say this now. I'm not necessarily going to do the final winners on the live stream. I'll pick a group of winners that we will then announce officially, because unless someone stands out clearly as the absolute number one, I feel like I need more time than just one feedback session to decide. I need to consider. So, or actually, if you guys, now that I think out loud in front of the world, if you guys all get your tracks in on time by the 22nd, I have the week to decide what the winners are. I don't necessarily have to do it live on air. Anyway, we'll figure it out. Don't worry. Anyway, yeah, you can see here on the forum, there's some rules and or suggestions, and remind you that you need to join the Discord channel and post usually a SoundCloud link, but any downloadable link or streaming able link would be fine. And yeah, okay, oxygen levels critical. Ooh, I hadn't heard of this challenge. Yes, now you know. That's why we're doing this check-in, because maybe you missed it. Maybe the last 2 or 3 weeks you didn't get the message. So now we know. Surflow Samba, very good point. He says, just don't make the vocals yourself. Yeah, use the original vocal for sure. You could chop them up. You could modify them. You could process them. You could go crazy. They already sound kind of weird. I was trying to put a vocoder on. You could put a vocoder on it. You could do some other things to it. I want to hear, ideally, I want to hear the full verse at least once in the track, right? Otherwise, do whatever you want. And if you feel like making an instrumental version just for yourself as a bonus, that's fine too. But I want to hear how creative you guys are with the vocal. I think because that's the main element, right? Nice. Oh, Surflow Sama saying the stuff about the universe and if it's a simulation. Yeah, I like that vibe. Maybe we can do that. Well, you guys can do it too. You guys can rip audio from YouTube and sample it. See what you could do with that. Side challenge, side quest. All right. So that's what's up. I also want to plug, and this is not Electro. Oh my gosh, I've lost the screen. Where's my slide? There it is. I mentioned this recently as well. This is the latest Smith & Selway release that was just out yesterday, I think. It's available pretty much all over now. It's the Super Collider EP. There's 3 tracks. Super Collider, Christian and I made most of it on our paid 4-hour nearly masterclass live stream that we did with 343 Labs. And so that ended up on this EP. And then another track called Function, I think we also worked a little bit on the stream. So yeah, this is real, people. I was saying a couple weeks ago that I wanted to set goals and take the music that I work on and get it out more, because I have a big pile of tracks that are unfinished. And I feel like, let's say 2025, realistically, there need to be a bunch of new releases for me. Let's put it that way. Not just because Christian's very much more organized than I am when it comes to making plans and making release schedules and things like that. So in addition to what he and I do, yeah, definitely need to set some goals, right? All of us need to do that. So I'm going to keep reminding myself in front of you guys to keep myself accountable, and then you guys can do it too. Hey, John, when's the next release coming? I should just throw stuff up on Bandcamp. I mean, that's easy, right? I don't even have to deal with a label or a distributor. I just make a page and upload it. It's the greatest thing. That should probably be the next step. What do you say? Nice one. Let's get into... Let's get back into... I'm just going to keep playing around with my little sketch for the Autofreak remix that I started just when I was showing everybody the parts. And, you know, it says in the title of the stream, trying out Live 12.1 or something like that. I'm not going to promise like a super detailed overview of the new features of Live 12. There are 12.1. There are tons of videos out already that show all these things since they've had the beta going for so long. But I just updated, so I thought I might as well see how it goes. Let's see where we are with this. Ooh, something's missing from my... All right. Whoa, is that too loud? Let's see. Can you hear me talking? Is it a bit much?
I turn you on.
Surflow Sama, how's the vocal music level right now?
Inside your mechanism.
That is heavy. Let's turn it down a little bit.
I turn you on. My automatic freak.
This is more aggressive than I remember. This is really aggressive.
Every night.
It's almost like, okay, you know, you listen to these lyrics. These lyrics are, you know, a little bit on the edge. It's a little, you know what it means without being explicit. And taking that lyric and making it so aggressive, it's kind of like, okay. That's maybe a little bit on the edge there, but it's pretty dark. You know, it's okay. We're all adults here. We don't need to dwell on that too much. I'm just going more for the, I don't know. I'm just following the whatever, you know, gosh, what's the right way to say this? When I made this, I wasn't thinking too hard about trying to make it like something. I would just let it happen. We're just letting it happen.
I turn you on. My automatic freak.
So this was one of the first things I tried out with the 12.1 update, which, Sample Sam, yes, it is officially out. And I'm really, really glad that they finally improved the limiter. I mean, I didn't ever hate the limiter, but it was getting a little long in the tooth. There are things that people expect, even in a native, you know, comes with the DAW device. Like, people expect a certain higher level of what a limiter can do nowadays. And it's got some of those things. It sounds great. I'm using it in mid-side mode, which, you know, that's kind of cool because I can, like, you know, it's the low end that's like taking up a lot of the space and, you know, impacting the overall loudness in a way in terms of the amplitude, right? But, you know, if I squash the middle and leave the sides, you can kind of, well, I don't know. Can you even tell? Go back into standard.
I turn you on. My automatic freak. Inside your mechanism.
Let's go to mid-side. Yeah, it just got wider.
I turn you on.
Right, so it's focusing, it's controlling the middle, and then you're hearing the wide stereo enhancement a little bit because it's not compressing that as much. I like that feature.
I turn you on.
And we've got the soft clipping and the true peak. I mean, yeah, they're adding details to the control of this limiter to help, you know, make it do cool stuff. I like it without getting too deep into what's going on here.
I turn you on. My automatic freak.
I see you guys are talking about the move that was just released as well, along with the 12.1 update. I came in today and there was a box that said Ableton on it on the desk, and I'm like, ooh, what's that? It was a move sized box, and I picked it up. And I'm like, that's a little light, and I opened it up, and someone already took it out of the box and like took it home to try it out. Someone who works here. Not going to name any names, but come on. No one even told me it was showing up. I would have totally plugged it in and played with it on the stream today if I had known it was coming. Maybe another time we'll look at the move. I think it's interesting as a sketch pad. I don't know if I don't know if I would buy one. I'll be honest. At that price point, I don't need it. But it could be fun. All right. But anyway, we have one here at 343 Labs, so hopefully I'll get to try it out and see what I think of it for real, rather than just first impressions. All right. So I'm actually going to take this limiter off right now. And just tone it down a little bit. That clicking sort of stuff happening in the kick drum when I let go. What is going on there? Oh, it's something in the roar, right? Oh, I still need some kind of control on this output. Let's, I'll leave it on just subtly. So this is one of the first things I was thinking about is it's so hardcore and aggressive with this roar doing all the distortion on that 808. Like, maybe that's a bit too much. And then those clicks are bugging me. So I'm a little bit like on the fence about how aggressive, whether I want to make this more hardcore and dirty and nasty, or do I keep more clean and rolling? You know, we're kind of in this Detroit techno bass, ghetto tech vibe with this beat, which I think is appropriate for the vocals.
Every night.
Headphones feel loose.
I turn you on. My automatic freak. Inside your mechanism.
All right, so I've got that beat going on. I've got a part of the original. I've just taken a loop from the very tail end. Where did it go? That's weird.
My automatic.
I'm having like weird technical issues already. Look at this. Oh.
I turn you on.
Weird. Oh, look at that. The chain was off.
I turn you on.
I'm going to mute the vocals for a second. And that's just the tail end of the original with some gating on it, right? I'm going to turn the gate off. And it's transposed up a lot. There's the original. And I'm taking it into a different key entirely, just randomly. Maybe it shouldn't. Maybe it should be. And I'm pretty sure I did that to match the tuning of the 808. Let's put this back on again. Or just to make a different harmony with that. I mean, they kind of both are okay, right? I'm not sure. I'm going to go with where I had it. What is happening? I'm going to EQ this a little bit. Oh, I have an idea. All right, I'm using the typical, just, you know, what I usually want to tune samples. I just go in and transpose it here. Let's try out the new, where is it? The new auto shift on the synth. Oh my goodness. I'm just curious to see how this sounds to transpose a synthesizer part as opposed to a vocal. And let's investigate a little bit what auto shift sounds like on a synth. What? I don't know what's happening. All right, you know what? I realize I think I already played around and messed up this the settings on this, so I'm gonna go back to default. It's detecting the pitches. Let's transpose it up. Got the formant shifting. This is kind of cool, actually, as a sound design device. What? Could add vibrato to it? Crazy. And if I change the input to different ranges, it's going to listen to different things in the pitch. That's disgusting. You could really mangle something with this thing. Now, you know, it's low notes, so it's going to detect the pitch of those low notes by setting it to the bass band as opposed to whatever's going on in the mids and highs. All right, it looks like it's playing an F sharp. So let's see if I change the root of the scale to the F sharp. And let's see if I can, what if I retune it? What does it do? Let's say if I turn one off. It goes to the nearest. All right. Crazy. So even a pretty complex synth sound like that, it's doing pretty well at like catching the pitch and transposing it. I don't think it would do very well with a chord. But I was wondering, like, how much of these, the harmonics and the sound going to throw it off? And you can tell how much, it might if you go to the wrong, or not the wrong, a higher band here. What is happening? Yeah, it's only, you have to have that input set at the right range to get the pitch. Okay. Interesting. Do I like this? Am I going to use it in my remix? I don't know. I'm just messing around today with these new 12.1 devices. You can just totally limit it to 2 notes only, or just 1 note. Make them all F. What does that sound like? You can still hear the overtones change. That's cool, actually. The bass, it sounds like it's making 2 notes now. Interesting. That'd be great for an interesting build-up. All right, I don't know what's happening, but we're just going to go with it. What does this sound like with a beat? I've turned it into a drone. Sounds like heart sync or something, sweeping the overtones up and down. Alright, this thing, whoa. This thing does, I was wondering what it would sound like if I mix this together with the dry signal. Would that be muddy? Would that be weird? And it doesn't have a dry wet for probably somewhat obvious reasons. Like most of the time you're not going to be wanting to do that. Although I can think of times where you would. A little messy. Maybe. Where did I... Oh, did I... I see what I did. Look, crazy. Let's put the auto shift after. I don't know what's going on. Okay. This is Selway needs to eat lunch brain fail. I'm just not paying attention to the signal flow in this at all. So this is what I wanted. I want auto shift on a chain and then not auto shift on a chain and then gate it. Nah, I don't like it. All for naught. I'm going to get rid of that. How does this sound like with the vocal again?
I turn you on. My automatic freak.
And with the clean 808 kick.
I turn you on.
All right, pitch is wrong. So that's originally why I had this transposed up. Hey, I'm not sure I like where this is going. I like what the auto shift is doing in terms of just for a sound design tool, like doing something crazy. But I think for where my remix is going, I'm not sure it's doing exactly what I like, at least not in how it fits with the... All right, so let's go back to the drawing board here. I had this originally transposed up like 2 octaves and... Right, and that also has that formant shifty kind of strange overtone thing going on, and that's going along with...
I turn you on. My automatic freak. Inside your mechanism. Every night.
All right, I like that better.
On.
I like where I was. Maybe, was it just because I was used to it?
I turn you on. My automatic freak.
All right, so I'm going to give this auto shift another chance.
I turn you on. My automatic freak.
What is going on? I keep saying that. We're trying out a new device in a way that maybe it wasn't designed for, and we're just going to figure it out. I like that. And you know what? I'm an idiot. There is a dry wet. So we're getting like the detuned synth and pitch modulation of the auto shift drifting up and down kind of combined together. Interesting. That sounds weird. I don't mind it here. And how's that with the gate on it?
My automatic freak.
Lose the vibrato.
I turn you on. My automatic freak. Inside your mix.
Your mileage may vary. All right. We're just experimenting today. How are we doing? Let's take a moment. I'm going to take a breath here and check in with you guys and see what you're talking about. I haven't been watching the chat at all. All right. Yes. Jendrik Schmidt. New tools. That's right. We're trying to work on figuring out how our new tools work for us or not. And oxygen levels critical says not horrendous. Thank you. That's a nice compliment. Not horrendous. So you guys are talking about the move. Yeah, we were talking about that before. And I was saying, oh yeah, we have one here, but I didn't get to play with it yet. We'll bring it on. We will. We'll bring it on the stream. We've got to do that. I haven't done any hardware on the stream in, I feel like years or months. I don't know. It's been quite a while since I've had to set up the overhead camera down, on the desk view and shown some of my hands. I have hands that do things besides whatever they're doing right now. And what time is it? We're a little bit past the halfway point here today on Selway's Techno and Electro Saturdays. And we are playing around with the Autofreak parts again. I am continuing to chip it away at, I feel like I'm struggling, honestly. And it's because I'm like, oh, let's try out these new devices and see if they're any good, right? So I'm just, oh, okay, that didn't work, but we'll get there, right? People usually think of these, auto-tune kind of things for vocals, but you can use them on other things. I think I saw a video on YouTube where somebody put the auto shift on drums. Like, what does that do? And Jendrik is asking, do you have a push? Yeah, I have a push too, which I've used it a little bit for some live shows with Christian Smith, actually, where we used it to do switching scenes and triggering patterns, and I had the macros assigned to certain parameters that we needed to use, but I didn't use it to like jam. It was more just to use it as a regular controller, just to have live do certain specific things. And I mostly prefer for MIDI control for, whether you're in the studio or on the stage. I like to have custom mappings, one-to-one parameters, so I know when I grab that knob, it's only doing one thing, and I don't have to hit a combination of keys to get to the thing that I want. Which makes me think a device like the new Move is all about that. Like it's a small device with a certain number of parameters, and they're not even labeled because each of those knobs does more than one thing. And I'm worried that that's going to like frazzle my Gen X mind a little bit because I do prefer to have real-time control knob per function, fader per function, button per function. So I get more I can see it, right? But I'm open. I have, it's Electron stuff is like that. I have a Digitone, which I like very much. And that also, you have to remember combinations, right? To press this button and then hit this thing and then turn the knob, and then that gets the results you want. And you can, if you practice, you get fast at it, and then you can perform with it. Okie dokie. All right, let's go back to what I'm doing with this. And I'm going to maybe stop worrying about the live devices too much. I mean, really, maybe we'll try the auto shift again. I mean, we could try it on the vocals because that's sort of what people usually think of them for.
I turn you on.
And then, here, let's change the scene back to the big view so you can see everything that's going on. I still can't decide whether I like the distorted 808 or I feel like... Oh, I know what we can do. All right. So I'm thinking maybe roar. I could use it in a more subtle way, but maybe I want to keep it cleaner. And I know I just said, hey, let's not worry too much about the 12.1 devices anymore, but there is also the saturator update. So this is another welcome addition because I use this thing all the time. And Like we have more, we have more control, more visual for what it's doing. So we can do stuff like this. Like you kind of color what's getting distorted. You can turn that off if you want, but generally what you want to do is, you know, if you want to add you want to control how much the very low frequencies get distorted so it doesn't start. If you want to keep it clean, right? You can change this curve. Or just, you know, get different overtones. That's interesting. And that's probably way too loud. Let me pull that back a little bit. Let's hear how it sounds with the beat. All right, so I welcome this addition to Saturator. Get really precise about which harmonics you are adding or not adding using your saturation. That's doing some weird stuff. Do you hear that? It's going what?
My automatic freak.
I wonder if it's a result of how the kick and the bass are interacting into the limiter or the compressor.
I turn you on.
Oh yeah, there was some extra stuff coming on from the soft clipping in the glue compressor.
I turn you on. My automatic freak. Inside your mechanism.
I kind of like it clean like this, as opposed to roar with the roar on it, right?
I turn you on. My automatic freak.
I'm still getting that little, it's like a bloopy sound. Do you hear it in the background? If you got headphones on, you'll hear it. It's like, what?
I turn you on. My automatic freak. Inside your mechanism.
Yeah, it's definitely something going in here.
Every night. I turn you on.
All right, let's put I had the vocoder on these sample, on the acapella.
I turn you on.
And I had pitch tracking. I'm going to go, instead of pitch tracking, well, should we give it an actual external carrier? I don't know, because this was one of the things I was wrestling with last time as well, is getting this to the right pitch. All right, let's ditch the vocoder and go back to auto shift for this. What can auto shift do for us?
I turn you on. My automatic freak.
If I make it just one note.
Inside your mechanism. Every night.
Will it even do it? It's so very noisy.
I turn you on. My automatic freak.
Do you hear how it's like not even really I don't think it's able to catch the pitch.
I turn you on.
Because I have oh, there it did. Okay, yeah, it's kind of hit or miss because this vocal sample it's not dry. It's got a modulating delay on it, actually. It's doing like a comb filtering thing, like that robotic kind of thing, but wobbling up and down. And I think AutoShift is having a hard time detecting a steady pitch here.
I turn you on. My automatic freak. Inside your mechanism. Every night.
It's getting it a little bit. What pitch do I want it to be?
I turn you on. My automatic freak.
All right, that's kind of doing it.
I turn you on.
Interesting.
My automatic freak.
And then if I mix them together, it sounds like it's doubled now.
I turn you on. My automatic freak. Inside your mechanism. Every night.
Okay.
I turn you on.
I'm not against that.
My automatic freak.
But let's do it like this. Instead of using the dry wet, I'm going to group that and pan them.
I turn you on. I turn you on.
Nice.
My automatic freak.
Actually, maybe we do two of them. And hard pan left and right.
I turn you on.
Ooh.
My automatic freak. Inside your mechanism.
That's pretty good.
Every night.
But I need to check and see if that sounds good in mono. Like, how does that, is there any canceling going on? Because it's super, super wide. Put a little mono after that.
I turn you on. My automatic freak.
Okay.
Inside your mechanism.
I think it collapses down very well. They're different enough.
I turn you on.
All right, let's see how this is fitting in.
I turn you on. My automatic freak. Inside your mechanism. Every night. I turn you on.
Now I'm not sure about the tuning of that.
I turn you on. I turn you on.
What if I transpose the sub down a half step so that the sub goes back towards the original key?
I turn,
Maybe that's what I should have done in the beginning, rather than fitting the...
I turn you on. My automatic freak. Inside your mechanism.
All right, what's this guy doing? Oh, that's the vocoder at the end of the techno mix. Let's come back to that one.
I turn you on. My automatic freak. Inside your mechanism.
You know, that's funny. I think it's just because I'm used to it, but I feel like it's better
I turn you on.
like that. I don't know why.
My automatic freak. Inside your mechanism. Every night. I turn you on. My automatic freak. Inside your mechanism. Every night. I turn you on. My automatic freak.
Okay. How are we doing? Are we going in the right direction? I feel like I haven't made very much progress today. I think I've been just kind of getting caught up in whether auto shift is working or not. Thank you, Alessandro Braz. That's a nice comment. I'm glad you like the new release with Christian. Definitely a different vibe than what we're doing today. This is a little darker and weirder and freaky by design. I'm having a little bit of, like, not writer's block, remixer's block. I'm kind of stuck. I'll be honest. I'm always honest with you guys. I'm not trying to front. Like, I know when I'm not feeling something, and it's fine. All right. It had more energy, even though I'm like kind of going back and forth on whether I want the distortion from the roar. Maybe I can do both. I don't know. It is pretty powerful that way.
Inside your mechanism. Every night. I turn you on. My automatic freak. Inside your mechanism. Every night. I turn you on.
I mean, it's sounding good. The mix in my headphones sounds good. Like,
I turn you on.
all right, let's do this. Let's do some sample mining. All right, just to round out today. It's almost 2:00. And this is what you guys, if you haven't already started your remix, you're going to need to, if you want to get more than just those vocals, you're going to need to go in and find something interesting in here. So that's what I was starting to do with this sample from... All All right, that's the vocoder from the techno version, and it's really sibilant. I really want to smooth out that S. So that's something I might want to use. Let's see what else we've got going on in here. All right, I'm going to duplicate that and see if I can isolate or use if there's any other sounds in this track that I could use. Like, especially from the end, it's got these. I guess it's got the bass and that kind of fast melody in it. Let's try here. Maybe I can make a little loop out of this. I wish it didn't have the bass note in it, but we're going to try. All right, let's set 111 there. Let's turn warping on. Let's make a loop here, a bar long loop. Come on, you set 1-1 here. Why are you doing me like that? Okay, there we go. Make a little 1 bar. Actually, maybe just 2. I'm going to have to get the... Nope. Is that the right tempo? Let's see. Yeah. All right. Put the looping on. I don't know if this is going to work. All right.
I turn you on. My automatic freak. Inside your mechanism. Every night. I turn you.
It feels a little loose, like actually moving the warp markers around a little bit.
I turn you on.
Oh, I have an idea. Let's chop it. Because I like it playing, there's that little percussion sound. Let me do a little call and response with the ping and the clap, which I also need to sound design those a little bit. They need to be mixed or punched up or something. They're a little flat sounding. We'll get there. All right. What's the best way to do this? Shall we just throw it in a simpler? Oi, oi, oi. No, here. We want to go here. And let's see what it gives us. Oh, that's the other device. Before we stop today, the new drum sampler is pretty cool too, right? All right, that needs to be... There we go. All right, so we're just going to do a little chops. Something like that, just so that I can throw it in from the original, but just like... Right, exactly. I'm not going to necessarily loop that on a bar. Or this guy could generate a random pattern. Like, why not? This could be good. Just as an example of how you might take parts from the original and do something different with it. I don't even know what octave range this is supposed to be in. Yeah. Whatever you want to do. That's actually a pretty good... pretty decent. Loop out of that now. It's got the drone underneath it. Maybe I want to get rid of that a little bit. Of course, you know, if you're real purist about it and you want to have all your parts separated, you can try to do the AI stem separation. I think your mileage may vary on separating synth sounds, though. And it's got atmosphere in it. I like that. Let me get rid of that just roar again. Okay. All right, it's almost 2. But what was I thinking? Let's just take a quick last 12.1 look at the drum sampler. So you can turn any simpler into a drum sampler, which is great. And, you know, there's a lot of stuff this does, which you already could do in live with any sample plus modulation, audio effects, etc. They just made it easy and put it in one device. You know, so you've got your warping, which I don't necessarily want to do because it's just going to do that. So not what I want for this sound. But if I wanted to make it punchier, let's do a little transient kind of stuff. Not loving it on this sound. Let's try pitch envelope, which is just, you know, basic, of course. And you do that with the pitch envelope inside of Simpler or any sampler. So I like all of this. I like doing FM on drum sounds is a no-brainer. Now it's making it more of a bass sound, right? Rather than just a kick. I actually kind of like that because it's giving it more tonal interest as a bass line, but it's not too distorted and in your face like the roar distortion was doing. Let's see how saturator sounds like on that. Oh. Wrong track. Yeah, it's just pumping up those harmonics. I like that. Okay. All right, so we covered the bases. There's more in Live 12.1, obviously, but these are just a few devices that I thought, oh, those are going to be useful right away. And they are. I like them. Good. So, all right, I'm making slow progress with this new remix of Autofreak, and I hope you guys are also making progress with your remixes of Autofreak. And again, if you're joining late and you're not sure what we're talking about, we are talking about the Autofreak Remix Challenge, which there's a link in the description. You can submit your email address, you can get the parts, and then you can go to our Discord to submit your remix of Autofreak. And it doesn't have to be electro, it can also be techno, right? But I'm doing electro. And you can choose. But that's it for today. Thanks very much for hanging out. As I kind of wandered around and stumbled through continuing working on this remix and going over the parts and also taking a look at some of the new devices and updated devices and Live's 12.1 update, which I like. Thanks, Ableton. And I'll talk to you guys again next week. I'll talk at you. I'll play music at you. We'll have fun. Enjoy yourselves. See you next time. Adios.